Maya's house was quiet that afternoon. The soft sound of birds outside and the gentle breeze through the open window made the small living room feel calm and warm. She was in the kitchen, chopping vegetables for dinner, when suddenly there was a loud, sharp knock at the front door. It was not the usual soft knock she heard from friendly neighbors or delivery people. This knock sounded firm and demanding. Maya wiped her hands on her apron and walked slowly toward the door. She wasn't expecting anyone, especially not so late in the day. As she opened the door, her eyes met with Mrs. Green's cold gaze. Mrs. Green was the woman who worked for the Homeowners Association, or HOA as everyone called it, the group that managed their neighborhood. Everyone knew Mrs. Green as a very strict person who liked to follow the rules exactly, sometimes too strictly. Mrs. Green was holding a big, shiny key in her hand. The kind of key that looked different from regular house keys. Maya's heart beat a little faster. "Hello, Maya," Mrs. Green said, her voice calm but serious. "I need to check your door today." Maya blinked, confused. "My door?" she asked. "Why? You didn't tell me anything about this." Mrs. Green smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. It was the kind of smile that made Maya feel like she had done something wrong, even though she hadn't. "It's part of my job," Mrs. Green said. "We have a new rule. I have a master key that opens all the doors in the neighborhood. I need to use it sometimes, to make sure everything is okay." Maya took a small step back. "A master key," she repeated, surprised. "I don't remember anyone telling me about this." Mrs. Green's eyes narrowed slightly. "It was in the last letter from the HOA. Maybe you didn't read it carefully," she said. Maya shook her head. She had not seen any letter, but even if there was one, she wished they had talked to her before coming to her house. "I'm not sure this is right," Maya said quietly. "You can't just open my door without telling me first." Mrs. Green looked at the big key in her hand again, like it was a tool that gave her special power. Then she stepped forward and held the key up to the lock on Maya's front door. Maya's heart started to race. What if Mrs. Green really tried to open her door? Would that be allowed? Suddenly, the key turned easily in the lock, and the door clicked open. Maya's eyes widened in shock. "You see," Mrs. Green said, pushing the door just a little. "The master key works on all the doors. It's for safety." Maya took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. She was worried. She thought her home was a safe place, a private place where only she and her family could enter. But now, a stranger with a key could open her door whenever they wanted. From the living room, Maya heard soft footsteps. Her son, Liam, was nearby. He was just 11 years old but always watched carefully when something didn't feel right. Liam came to stand beside Maya, looking up at Mrs. Green with serious eyes. "Mom, is she going to come inside?" Liam asked quietly. Maya put her hand gently on Liam's shoulder. "I don't think so," she said. "But we need to be careful." Mrs. Green smiled again, this time with a little more confidence. "I just want to make sure everything is okay inside. It's for your safety, too." Liam looked at Maya. Then he looked back at Mrs. Green. "You can't just come into our home without asking," he said in a firm voice. Mrs. Green blinked, clearly surprised that a young boy was speaking so boldly. "I have the right," she said, trying to sound certain. "The HOA rules say I can enter for inspections." Maya shook her head. "You might have rules, but you can't break our trust," she said. "If you want to check something, you should tell us first and ask." Mrs. Green's smile disappeared. She looked at the key in her hand, then back at Maya and Liam. For a moment, the three of them stood quietly in the doorway. The sun outside was beginning to set, casting long shadows on the street. From the corner of her eye, Maya saw a few neighbors walking by. Some stopped to watch, curious about the small crowd at her door. Mrs. Green took a step back. "I will leave now," she said, "but don't forget, I have the master key. I can come back." Maya closed the door slowly but firmly. "Please don't," she said. After the door shut, Liam turned to his mother. "Why would she have a key to our house?" he asked. "Is that normal?" Maya sighed and hugged him. "No, Liam. It's not normal. And it doesn't feel right. But we'll make sure to find out more." Liam nodded. "We need to tell the neighbors, Mom. Everyone should know." Maya looked out the window at the quiet street. The trees swayed gently, but the peace she had felt just moments ago was gone. Now, a question stayed in her mind: how much control should someone have over their own home? And what would she do if Mrs. Green tried to use that key again? Maya knew one thing for sure: she would protect her family and her home. No matter what. The next morning, the sun rose slowly, filling Maya's kitchen with soft light. But even with the bright day outside, Maya felt uneasy inside. The idea of Mrs. Green having a key that could open every door in the neighborhood kept running through her mind. What if she came back again? What if something happened while they were not home? Maya sat at the kitchen table with a cup of tea, thinking hard. Liam was getting ready for school, tying his shoelaces carefully. He looked up at his mother and said, "Mom, I don't like that key. It feels like someone can sneak into our house whenever they want." Maya nodded slowly. "I don't like it either, Liam. But I want to understand more before we get upset. Sometimes, people have reasons for doing things, even if those reasons don't seem right at first." Liam frowned. What kind of reason could be so important that they can open our door without asking? Before Maya could answer, her phone rang. It was Mr. Collins, one of their neighbors. He was a quiet man who lived a few houses down. Maya always thought he was kind but shy. "Good morning, Maya," Mr. Collins said politely. "I heard about what happened yesterday. That Mrs. Green came to your door with a master key." "Yes," Maya said, her voice tired but steady. "It surprised me too. Do you know why she has that key?" Mr. Collins sighed. "I asked around a little. The HOA said the master key is for emergencies or for inspections when homeowners are not available. They say it helps protect us from damage or theft." Maya frowned. "But don't they have to tell us first? Or get permission?" "That's what many neighbors think," Mr. Collins said. "But the HOA rules say they don't have to ask every time. They only need to let us know that the key exists. I'm not sure everyone received that notice, though." Maya felt a chill. That's not fair. It feels like they want to control everything without asking. "I agree," Mr. Collins said quietly. "But the HOA can be strict. Sometimes, they think they know what's best for the whole neighborhood. Even if that means crossing lines." Maya thanked Mr. Collins and hung up the phone. She looked at Liam, who was waiting to hear what she would say. "I'm going to call the HOA office today," Maya said. "I want to ask about the master key and the rules." Liam's eyes grew wide. "Can I come with you?" Maya smiled. "Of course." Later that day, Maya and Liam drove to the HOA office. The building was small but busy. Several people were talking quietly, and a few desks were filled with papers and files. A woman at the front desk looked up when Maya and Liam walked in. "How can I help you?" she asked kindly. Maya explained, "I want to learn about the master key the HOA uses. Mrs. Green tried to use it on my door yesterday, but I was not told about it before." The woman nodded and picked up a file. "The master key is for emergencies and official inspections. The HOA has the right to enter homes with the key, but we usually send notices before we come. We understand some people may not feel comfortable, but it is part of keeping the neighborhood safe." Liam looked at Maya, then raised his hand slowly. "But what if someone doesn't want someone else to open their door? Shouldn't they be asked first?" The woman smiled gently. "That's a good question. The HOA is trying to balance safety and privacy. We want to protect everyone, but we also want to respect your home." Maya asked, "Are there rules about when the master key can be used? Like times or reasons?" The woman nodded. "Yes. It should only be used in emergencies, like if there is a fire or a water leak, or for scheduled inspections with notices. If the key is used without proper reason or notice, it is a problem." Maya felt a little relief but still worried. What happens if someone uses the key without permission or for the wrong reasons? The woman looked serious. "That is against our rules. The HOA will investigate any misuse. Homeowners can report it." After they left the office, Maya and Liam talked on the way home. "I'm glad there are rules," Liam said, "but I still don't like that Mrs. Green tried to open our door without telling us." Maya nodded. "Me too. We need to talk to our neighbors. Maybe more people feel the same way." That evening, Maya went to the small park near their house where many neighbors gathered. She talked quietly with Mrs. Patel, a friendly woman with 2 children. "Did you know about the master key?" Maya asked. Mrs. Patel shook her head. "No, I didn't. That worries me. What if someone comes in when we're not home?" Maya nodded. "Mrs. Green tried to open our door yesterday without telling us. She said it was for safety, but it felt wrong." Mrs. Patel frowned. "I don't trust someone having a key to my home without asking. We should do something." Maya smiled. "I'm thinking about asking the HOA to explain everything at the next community meeting. If we all ask questions together, maybe they will listen." Mrs. Patel agreed. "I'll come too. And I'll tell my neighbors." Soon, a few more neighbors joined their conversation, all sharing their worries and stories. Many had no idea the HOA had a master key, and none had been told about when it would be used. Maya felt a strong feeling inside, a mix of hope and courage. She knew this was only the beginning. If they wanted to keep their home safe and private, they had to speak up. Liam ran around the park, laughing with other children, but Maya kept her eyes on the group of adults. They were planning to stand together. And for the first time since Mrs. Green's visit, Maya felt ready. The next few days passed slowly for Maya and Liam. The question of the master key stayed in their minds like a shadow that wouldn't disappear. Maya spent her evenings writing letters and emails to the HOA, asking for clear answers. Liam watched his mother with quiet concern, but he also felt a growing courage inside him. One morning, as Liam was eating breakfast, Maya sat next to him with a serious look on her face. "Liam," she said softly, "I think it's time for us to stand up, not just for ourselves, but for all our neighbors." Liam looked at her carefully. "What do you mean?" "We need to tell Mrs. Green and the HOA that using the master key without permission is not right," Maya explained. And we need to do it together, with other neighbors. Liam nodded slowly, understanding the importance. I want to help, Mom. That afternoon, Maya and Liam went outside to talk with their neighbors. They wanted to find people who also felt worried about the master key. At first, many people seemed afraid or unsure. Some said, maybe the HOA is only trying to help. Others said, we don't want to cause trouble. But Maya and Liam kept listening and explaining why privacy was important. Slowly, more neighbors joined their small group. One neighbor, Mr. Johnson, spoke up. I didn't know about the key either. If someone can open my door anytime, I don't feel safe. Mrs. Patel nodded. Yes, I want to keep my family safe too. We need rules that protect us all. Together, the group decided to ask the HOA for a meeting. They wanted to talk openly about the master key and the rules for using it. The day of the HOA meeting arrived. The community center was filled with neighbors who had come to listen and speak. Maya held Liam's hand as they found a seat near the front. Mrs. Green sat on a raised platform with other HOA members, looking serious but nervous. When the meeting began, Mrs. Green spoke first. Good evening, everyone. The HOA cares about the safety of all homes. The master key is for emergencies and inspections. We follow rules to protect your property. Maya stood up, her voice steady but calm. Mrs. Green, we understand the need for safety. But many of us did not know about the master key or when it would be used. It feels like our privacy was not respected. A quiet murmur went through the crowd. Maya saw Liam watching her, proud but a little nervous. Then Liam stood up too. I want to say something, he said clearly. The room grew silent. Our homes are where we feel safe. If someone can open our door without asking, we feel scared. We want the HOA to tell us first and ask permission. Mrs. Green's eyes widened. She was not used to being questioned, especially by a child. But she kept her voice calm. Liam, the rules say I can enter in emergencies or inspections. It is for your protection. Liam looked her in the eyes. But what if it's not an emergency? What if you come when we are not home and don't tell us? That is not protection. That is breaking trust. Many neighbors nodded quietly. Some whispered words of agreement. Maya felt hope growing inside her. After the meeting, Maya and Liam spoke with several neighbors. Mr. Collins, the quiet man from down the street, came over to congratulate Liam. You spoke very well, he said kindly. You reminded us all what's important. Liam smiled shyly. I just said what I feel. Maya hugged her son. You were brave, Liam. And you helped all of us. The HOA promised to review their policies. They agreed to send clear notices before entering any home and to limit the use of the master key. Maya felt relieved but knew the real work was just beginning. The neighborhood needed trust, not just rules. That night, Maya tucked Liam into bed. You did something important today, she said softly. You stood up for what's right. Liam yawned and smiled. I just want to keep our home safe. Maya kissed his forehead. And you helped everyone feel safer too. As Liam closed his eyes, Maya looked out the window at the quiet street. The lights in the houses twinkled softly. For the first time in days, the house felt peaceful again. But Maya knew they would always need to watch and protect their home and their community. Trust was something they had to build together one step at a time. After the HOA meeting, Maya felt a little more hopeful. The promises made by Mrs. Green and the HOA board seemed like a good start. But Maya knew that words alone would not fix everything. It would take the support of the entire neighborhood to make real change. The next morning, Maya went outside with Liam to visit some neighbors. They wanted to build a stronger community, so everyone could feel safe and respected in their homes. Their first stop was Mr. Collins' house. He was outside watering his small garden. When he saw Maya and Liam, he smiled warmly. "Good morning, Maya, Liam," he said. "How are you today?" "We're okay," Maya replied. "We wanted to talk to you about the master key and the meeting last night." Mr. Collins nodded. "Yes, I've been thinking about it a lot. I think the HOA needs to listen to everyone more carefully." Maya smiled. "That's why we want to help. Maybe if we work together, we can make sure the HOA follows the new rules they promised." Liam added, "And maybe we can make sure no one feels scared anymore." Mr. Collins looked at Liam and smiled. "You're right, Liam. Feeling safe is very important." From there, Maya and Liam walked to Mrs. Patel's house. She was outside with her 2 children, playing quietly. When Maya explained what they wanted to do, Mrs. Patel's face lit up. "It's about time we stand up for our rights," Mrs. Patel said. "Some of my neighbors are worried, but they don't speak out. We need to support each other." Maya agreed. "We want to organize a small group of neighbors. We can meet regularly and talk about our concerns. Together, we can be stronger." Mrs. Patel nodded eagerly. "Count me in." As they walked back home, Maya and Liam felt a new energy. It wasn't just about one key or one rule anymore. It was about community. About neighbors helping neighbors. That afternoon, while Maya prepared dinner, Liam played in the living room. Suddenly, Maya heard a soft knock at the door. When she opened it, she found Mr. Johnson standing there, holding a folder. "Hello, Maya," he said kindly. "I wanted to give you this. It's some information about homeowners' rights and HOA rules." Maya took the folder, surprised and grateful. "Thank you, Mr. Johnson. This will help us a lot." Mr. Johnson smiled. "I'm glad. I've been researching because I don't want anyone's home to be opened without permission." Maya looked at Liam, who was watching quietly. "We're going to need all the help we can get," she said. The next few days were busy for Maya. She helped organize meetings and talked with neighbors about their experiences. Some shared stories of times the HOA came by unexpectedly, while others spoke about how Mrs. Green sometimes acted too strictly. One evening, Maya received a call from Mrs. Green. Her voice was different, less sharp and more polite. "Maya," Mrs. Green said, "I wanted to thank you for bringing the neighbors together. It has made me think about how I do my job." Maya was surprised but said, "Thank you for saying that. We all want the neighborhood to be safe and happy." Mrs. Green paused for a moment. "I will do my best to respect everyone's privacy. And I will work with the HOA to improve communication." Maya smiled quietly. "That means a lot." A week later, the neighborhood group met in Maya's living room. About a dozen neighbors were there, sitting in chairs and on couches. They talked openly, sharing ideas and plans. Liam listened quietly, proud of his mother and the neighbors. When it was his turn, he spoke simply. "I want everyone to know that homes are special," he said. "We need to trust each other and feel safe." The neighbors smiled and nodded. Mrs. Patel reached out to squeeze Maya's hand. Maya looked around the room, feeling grateful. The fear from before was slowly changing into hope. They were building something strong, something that no one could take away. That night, Maya sat by the window, thinking. The sun had set, and the stars were bright above. She knew the path ahead wouldn't be easy, but she also knew they were not alone. With Liam by her side and neighbors supporting each other, she believed they could protect their homes and their community. Because in the end, a neighborhood was more than just houses. It was about people caring for each other, standing together, and making sure everyone felt safe and respected. One bright Saturday morning, Maya was in her garden, planting new flowers. The air was fresh, and the neighborhood was calm. Birds sang happily, and the sun made the leaves shine. Liam was inside, reading quietly in the living room. Maya enjoyed these peaceful moments. After the busy week of meetings and talks with neighbors, she hoped things would stay calm for a while. But sometimes, peace can be surprising and not always in the way we expect. Just as Maya was planting a bright red flower, she heard a knock on the front door. She wiped her hands on her pants and walked inside. When she opened the door, she was surprised to see Mr. Collins standing there, holding a small box. "Good morning, Maya," he said with a gentle smile. "I brought something for you and Liam." Maya smiled back, curious. "Thank you, Mr. Collins. Please come in." Mr. Collins stepped inside carefully and looked around. "It's a little gift to celebrate how brave you and Liam have been." Maya was touched. "That's very kind of you." He handed the box to Maya. She opened it slowly and found a small wooden keychain inside. It was carved in the shape of a house, with tiny details like windows and a door. "It's a reminder," Mr. Collins said quietly, "that our homes belong to us. And that when neighbors work together, we can protect what's important." Maya held the keychain carefully. She looked at Liam, who had come to the door, curious about the visitor. "Thank you, Mr. Collins," Maya said softly. "This means a lot." Later that day, Maya and Liam sat together on the porch, watching neighbors pass by. The keychain rested on the table between them. Liam turned to his mother. "Mom, do you think Mrs. Green will change?" Maya thought for a moment. "I hope so, Liam. She said she would try to respect us more. But sometimes, people need time to change." Liam nodded. "I want to believe that too." Just then, Maya's phone rang. It was a number she didn't recognize. She answered carefully. "Hello." A calm voice spoke. "Hello, Maya. This is Mrs. Green." Maya's heart beat faster. "Hello, Mrs. Green. How can I help you?" Mrs. Green's voice sounded softer than usual. "I wanted to apologize for how I acted before. I realize I should have talked to you first about the master key. It was wrong to surprise you." Maya felt surprised but also relieved. "Thank you for saying that." Mrs. Green continued, "I want to work with you and the neighborhood group. I don't want to cause fear. I want us all to feel safe." Maya smiled quietly. "That sounds like a good plan. We want to build trust together." Mrs. Green agreed. "I'll be at the next meeting." "Thank you, Maya." After the call ended, Maya looked at Liam. "I think this is a good step." Liam grinned. "Maybe she's not so scary after all." A few days later, the neighborhood group met again in the community center. Mrs. Green was there, sitting near the front, listening carefully. Maya stood up and spoke. "We appreciate Mrs. Green's apology and willingness to change. But we want to make sure our voices are heard. We need clear rules about when the master key can be used, and we want notices before anyone comes into our homes. Mrs. Green nodded. I understand. I will work with the HOA board to make sure we follow those rules. One neighbor raised her hand. What if the rules are broken again? What can we do? Maya answered, we will keep working together. We will report any problems to the HOA. And we will remind each other that our community is stronger when we respect each other. The group agreed, feeling hopeful but aware that change takes time. That evening, Maya tucked Liam into bed. You were very brave today, she said, smiling. Liam yawned. I just want everyone to be happy and safe. Maya kissed his forehead. You helped start something important. Never forget that. As she turned off the light, Maya felt a quiet strength inside her. The road ahead might be long, but with neighbors like Liam and Mr. Collins, and even Mrs. Green trying to change, she knew they could protect their homes and their trust. Days passed, and the neighborhood slowly began to feel more peaceful. Maya and Liam continued to work with their neighbors, sharing ideas and helping each other. The small community group met often, and each meeting brought new plans for making the neighborhood better. But just when Maya thought things could not get any better, something unexpected happened. One afternoon, Maya was inside, folding laundry, when she heard a knock on the door. When she opened it, she found a man standing outside. He was tall, with kind eyes and a friendly smile. Hello, Maya, the man said politely. My name is Mr. Parker. I live a few streets away. I heard about what has been happening with the master key and the HOA. I wanted to offer my help. Maya was surprised but curious. Thank you, Mr. Parker. How can you help? Mr. Parker smiled. I work as a lawyer, and I have experience with homeowner rights and HOA laws. If you and the neighborhood group want, I can help explain your rights and even help you speak with the HOA board. Maya felt a wave of relief. That would be amazing. Many neighbors are confused about the rules and don't know what to do. Liam, who had come to the door quietly, looked up. You're like a helper for the whole neighborhood. Mr. Parker chuckled softly. I like to think so. I want to make sure everyone is treated fairly. That evening, Maya invited Mr. Parker to join their neighborhood meeting. When he arrived, he greeted everyone warmly and began to explain things in simple words. The HOA has some rights, but homeowners have rights too, Mr. Parker said clearly. You have the right to privacy in your own homes. The HOA must follow rules and respect those rights. If they don't, you can ask for changes or even legal help. The neighbors listened carefully. Some nodded, feeling more confident. Maya looked at Liam and smiled. Even he seemed more hopeful. After the meeting, several neighbors thanked Mr. Parker for helping them understand. Mrs. Patel said, "It's good to know we have someone on our side." Maya agreed. This is a new beginning for us. In the weeks that followed, the neighborhood group grew stronger. With Mr. Parker's guidance, they wrote clear letters to the HOA board, asking for written rules about the master key. They also requested that all homeowners receive proper notice before anyone entered their homes. Mrs. Green, who was part of the HOA board, began attending meetings more often. She listened carefully to the neighbors' concerns and worked with Mr. Parker and the group to find solutions. One afternoon, Maya received a letter from the HOA. It included new policies. The master key could only be used in true emergencies or after giving at least 48 hours notice. Homeowners must be informed in writing about any inspections. Misuse of the master key would result in strict penalties. Maya felt a wave of relief. The hard work was paying off. But the journey was not without challenges. Some neighbors still felt nervous. One day, Liam noticed a small group whispering near the park. "Mom," he said, "some people still don't trust the HOA." Maya nodded. "Change takes time, Liam. But we keep working and talking. That's how trust grows." Liam smiled. "I want everyone to feel safe." Maya hugged him. "Me too, Liam. Me too." One evening, Maya received another surprise. Mrs. Green came to her door, holding a plate of cookies. "I wanted to say thank you," Mrs. Green said softly, "for helping me understand. I'm learning that being part of a community means listening and respecting." Maya smiled warmly. "Thank you, Mrs. Green. It means a lot to hear that." Liam peeked from behind Maya's leg. "Cookies?" he asked hopefully. Mrs. Green laughed. "Yes, for you too." They all laughed together. It was a small moment, but it showed how far they had come. That night, Maya looked at the keychain Mr. Collins had given her. It sat on the table, shining in the soft light. She thought about the journey, the fear, the meetings, the neighbors coming together, and the unexpected help. With a deep breath, Maya knew one thing for sure: a neighborhood was more than just houses and rules. It was about people who cared, who stood up for each other, and who believed in a better future. And that future was growing brighter every day. The days grew warmer, and the neighborhood felt alive with new energy. The small group of neighbors, led by Maya and supported by Liam, had grown closer than ever. People who barely spoke to each other before now smiled and greeted one another on the street. There was a sense of trust in the air, and the homes felt safer. The HOA board had officially adopted the new rules about the master key. Everyone received letters explaining when and how the key could be used. Most importantly, the HOA promised to give at least 48 hours notice before entering anyone's home, except in real emergencies. Maya felt proud of what they had all achieved. But more than that, she felt grateful. Grateful for neighbors who had found their voices, for Liam's courage, and even for Mrs. Green's willingness to change. One morning, Liam was playing in the front yard when Mrs. Green walked by. This time, she didn't stop at the gate like before. Instead, she smiled and waved. "Good morning, Liam," she called out. Liam waved back, grinning. "Good morning, Mrs. Green." Mrs. Green nodded and continued on her way. It was a small moment, but to Liam, it meant the world. It was a sign that the neighborhood was healing. That afternoon, Maya received a phone call from Mr. Parker, the neighborhood's helpful lawyer. "Maya," he said warmly, "I just wanted to tell you that the HOA board has agreed to hold regular meetings with the neighborhood group. This way, everyone can share ideas and concerns openly." Maya smiled. "That's wonderful news, Mr. Parker. It will help keep the trust going." "Exactly," he said. "And I'll be there to help if you need me." Maya felt a wave of relief. It was a new beginning, not just for her family but for the entire neighborhood. The next week, the community held a small gathering in the park. There were balloons, snacks, and music. Children ran around playing games, and adults talked happily. Maya looked around and saw familiar faces, neighbors who had once been silent, now chatting and laughing. She spotted Liam playing soccer with some friends. His face was bright with joy. Maya walked over to Mr. Collins, who was sitting on a bench watching the children. "We've come a long way," she said softly. Mr. Collins nodded. "Yes, We have. And it's because people like you and Liam stood up and cared. Maya smiled. It took all of us, working together. Just then, Mrs. Green joined them, carrying a tray of homemade cookies. I wanted to share these with everyone, she said, smiling genuinely. Thank you for helping me see a better way. Maya took a cookie and looked at Mrs. Green. Thank you for being open to change. They all sat together, sharing cookies and stories. The past worries seemed far away in that moment. That night, as Maya tucked Liam into bed, she felt proud of her son. You were very brave, she said, brushing his hair. Liam yawned but smiled. I just wanted our home to be safe. Maya kissed his forehead. You helped make it safe for everyone. As Liam closed his eyes, Maya looked around their cozy home. The walls held stories of fear, courage, and hope. She knew the journey wasn't over, but for now, they had won a big part of their peace. The next morning, Maya placed the small wooden keychain on the kitchen table. It was a symbol of everything they had fought for: privacy, respect, and community. She looked out the window at the street, where neighbors were chatting and children were playing. This was more than a neighborhood now. It was a family. And with every small step they took together, they were building a future filled with trust and kindness. Maya smiled, knowing that no matter what came next, they would face it together.